We are live from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, home of the Philadelphia Eagles, and we are ready to crown our series champion on Stadium Championship Series 2. I am Ryan Lacoste. It started in Tampa, Florida. It ends here tonight in Philly, and we've got some of the biggest fans in the world here to find out who gets crowned our series champion. But before we get to the action, you're going to hear directly from our superstars competing for tonight's overall event championship, and only two are competing for Stadium Championship Series 2. So let's get this started and meet our first driver, Neil Elliott and Max D. He has two Stadium Championship Series championships, and he's 4 points behind for his third one, the final night tonight. But Neil Elliott, Max D, you got a little surprise this week. You're going to be competing at the Monster Jam World Finals in the two-wheel skills challenge. What's that going to take to win that World Finals championship?
Man, I don't know. There's an bunch of awesome drivers out there in Monster Jam World Finals. We got these young guys that are coming from these arena tours that are doing this 4 or 5 times a weekend. So to go out there and win two-wheel skills in Orlando at the World Finals is going to be tough.
So 4 points behind Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, but tonight Ryan Anderson in the city of brotherly love is filling in the Gravedigger truck. What's it going to take for Neil Elliott, Max D, to win tonight and get enough points to get that invite to the Monster Jam World Finals 20?
I don't know, but that's what I'm shooting for. I want to be in the big show. I want racing and freestyle, Orlando, Monster Jam World Finals. That's where I want to be. So we're going to come out here. With any luck, we can come out on top. You know, I know Ryan's here for his brother, and he's going to run that Gravedigger truck hard. So we're just going to have to go out there and do the same thing to that Max D.
It's going to be a big night tonight. The question is, can Neil Elliott, Max D clinch his third Stadium Championship Series championship? Well, later tonight, we'll be back here on the Monster Jam Facebook, and you'll find out if it's going to be Max D or it's going to be Gravedigger. And right now, let's get to know another driver, Cynthia Gauthier, driving Monster Mutt Dalmatian.
A super awesome party right here with Cynthia Gauthier of Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Welcome to Philadelphia. How are the fans been treating you?
It's been amazing. I was here last year. People don't know that, but I was actually working on the dirt crew, so I built the track, but I did not drive. So this year I'm back and I'm driving.
Well, speaking of the dirt, how's it look today?
I cannot ask for a better crew. I mean, the dirt crew guy has been such an amazing job. The track is perfect for tonight.
I can't wait to see you hit that track. Now, Cynthia, you have been driving in Stadium 1 in the Monster Mutt Ice. So let's talk about, oh, hey, welcome to the party. Let's talk about transferring to a whole different truck. What do you have to do to make that change?
Yes, and not a lot of people know this is not actually my Monster Jam truck. I'm actually filling in for Candice Jolie this weekend, trying to keep up with all her points. She's actually in South Africa right now driving a Monster Jam truck. So it's amazing. I mean, we did some adjustment. It's kind of funny to change truck. My truck is actually in Denver, but I'm ready to put this truck down to the ground and win for all the ladies out there.
Well, ladies, what do you think? You want to see that? Now, speaking of Ladies' Night, we have some 3 awesome female drivers here. And let's talk about the competition. I mean, being on a new tour, is that at all intimidating?
You know what? Me and Ryan are coming from Stadium 1, and we're here to mix them up today. And I think we're going to bring something really cool for the show.
Make some noise for Cynthia Gauthier in Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Up next, we're going to learn about Stephen Thompson in Earthshaker.
Shaking that earth, Stephen Thompson and Earthshaker here on the dirt. Let's talk about your season. You've had a pretty good run, a lot of second places in racing and in freestyle. What stands out to you most about this season with Monster Jam?
You know, it has been, and it's an amazing season so far, you know, this year. You know, what really sticks out to my mind is my good friend Ryan Distrud and I, man, we're going to the finals in the, Seattle. You know, first time in 20 years since Monster Jam's there, and right there is me and my best friend, you know, right there in the finals, man. What an amazing feeling that was. But, you know, like I said, you know, it's been a long tour. It's been a fun tour. You know, we brought this truck out brand new at the beginning of the year, and every weekend, man, we drive this thing and we're learning it. We're more, you know, getting comfortable with this truck. We're like a couple weeks ago, you know, we're advancing to the finals. We're going to there. And, you know, we're just learning this truck so much more, learning how it feels, everything about it. And, you know, it's been helping us out tremendously, and we're ready to rock Philadelphia tonight.
You say advancing, I can't help, but I got to ask you, I know you're adding to the Earthshaker family at home. What's happening?
You know, we got some amazing news last year. You know, We're welcoming a little baby boy at the end of May here. Super excited about that, man. You know, we're coming out here. We're trying to put on the best possible show for these Monster Jam fans. You see all the kids come through, and that's just burning the favor. You know, it's really helping us step our game up. Now we got our own little kid back home, man. We're going to raise this kid up. He's going to be out here with us in a couple more years, and yeah, it's amazing. I'm just absolutely happy about it.
Let's see how he does tonight. One more time. Stephen Thompson, Earthshaker. Up next, let's get to know Ice Cream Man and Roy Pridgeon.
Put your cones up for Roy Pridgeon, the Ice Cream Man, who it's first time in Philly. Was the pit party reception warm? Have you gotten a few cheesesteaks in you?
I tell you what, the reception out of the pit party was absolutely amazing. Like you said, my first time here at Philly, first time getting to bring the Emily Motor Oil Ice Cream Man up here. I saw a lot of fans that we actually saw in Syracuse a couple weeks ago, so that's pretty cool. That tells you how hardcore these guys are to come to a bunch of different shows.
And a little birdie once told me, like a couple hours ago, it's the Ice Cream Man's birthday. So real quick, Philly, on the count of three, can I get a happy birthday? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. All right, so all of these revolutions around the sun, all this time behind the wheel of the Ice Cream Man Monster Jam truck, what's one thing that you've learned that you'd tell someone that wants to get behind the wheel? What's a bit of advice that you'd give about driving a Monster Jam truck?
People ask me that all the time, you know, how do you get into it? What's the best thing to do? You know, if you guys really want to get into the sport, try to contact the companies on Facebook, one of the social medias like that, get a hold of them. But whenever you actually finally get to ride in the seat of one of these things, it's just absolutely amazing. You know, there's not one thing I can say that's the best. It's just the whole experience. It's sensory overload.
Awesome, and we're ready for some sensory overload from the Ice Cream Man tonight. I'm hoping for some free ice cream after the show, too. But first, let's hang out with Bryce Kenny, the driver of the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior.
Let's see those Mohawks waving around in the air for Bryce Kenny, the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Bryce, welcome back to Philadelphia. So I hear you have something special for our fans. Is that right?
Well, I didn't get to do freestyle last time I was here because we had some truck damage and we didn't make it back out. And so, you know, even though I've only gotten to do this event one time in my life here at Lincoln Financial Field, I've never gotten to freestyle in front of all of you awesome fans. And if the pit party is any indication as to how much energy you're bringing to this event, I can promise you, you're not going to want to leave early. You're going to want to stay to the very, very end because this Monster Jam freestyle event is going to be crazy.
Absolutely. It's the last stop on our tour, and of course, all roads lead to one place. That's Monster Jam World Finals. Let's talk about the elevated start line.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy for us to start actually on top of a section. So if you were to imagine, it would be almost like the big Jumbotron on this end zone wouldn't be there. That's where trucks will start from, jumping and kind of diving down into the floor and then racing around a chicane and finally getting the trucks up to probably 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. And it's just going to be crazy. It's going to take a lot of skill, a lot of finesse, and a lot of guts.
So let's talk about Instagram. I see you all over social media, really. Let's talk about how you can connect with your fans.
Well, to be honest with you, when I started with Monster Jam, I didn't do a ton of stuff on social media. But what's amazing are that the fans are constantly on social media. And so about 3 or 4 years ago, I changed all that. And I said, man, this is my opportunity to connect with all the fans. And it's guys like this right here that I've met so many amazing fans just off of Instagram. And so join the story with us. Join the process with us. You know, my Instagram personally is @WarriorBryce. Get on Instagram, follow us, and I promise you're not going to miss all the behind-the-scenes stuff and all the cool stuff that's going to be going on over the next month or so.
Absolutely. Make sure to have your cameras ready when this guy hits the track. Make some noise for Bryce Kenny, the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior.
We know fans are amazed at what these trucks and drivers can do on the track to put on some incredible performances. But every driver will tell you, it's not just what happens behind the wheel. The technology of today's Monster Jam truck, along with the hard work of our crew chiefs and technicians, allows our superstars to perform at the highest level. For more on that, let's rejoin Keith Jones in the pits.
Fans, one thing that is going to be very interesting tonight is this dirt and the track that I'm standing on. A little bit about the process of how we got started. We didn't start building this track until Thursday night at 5 p.m. You got to protect the grass. You can't cover the grass for you amazing Philadelphia Eagles fans and the Philadelphia Eagles players. So we started it Thursday night at 5 p.m. They put down tons of felt. 3,600 sheets of plywood, and then we got dirt from right on next door underneath the overpass. 400 dump truck loads of dirt. It's a sand and clay mix. They had it out here. They worked through the night nonstop until 11 a.m. on Friday. Now we had about 10 hours of rain, as you Philly fans might have seen over the night into Saturday. They waited till the rain stopped. Now Saturday afternoon, they were out here tilling, making some trenches. They had a top layer of dirt that it was actually covered throughout the past week by a tarp, so we had some dry dirt that is on top. But it's going to make it very interesting because the drivers are out here looking this morning. I talked to them to get some quotes. They said some of that moisture might come to the top after the first few pairs of racing. It's going to be very key. And Neil Elliott and Max D said he's going to be watching those turns to see how tight the drivers take them, how early they kick in that rear steer. So who's going to be able to know the drive into a little bit of wet moisture and that sand and clay, and maybe if it dries out. But who's going to be able to adjust their driving style? Because it's all about the points tonight and getting the overall event championship, but for two drivers. If you just checked in with us, Gravedigger and Max D are battling out for the Stadium Championship Series #2 championship. Who's going to be able to make it through these turns and then get those points early on in America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses Monster Jam Racing? We're soon going to find out as we get ready for the start of Monster Jam very soon. But now, let's get back in meeting the drivers. Up next is Scott Hartzog in Slinger.
Florida native joining us up here in Philadelphia, the legendary Scott Hartzog in the Slinger Monster Jam truck. Now, Keith just got done talking about the track and how crazy it was this morning. So let's say 10 o'clock until now. That's about 8 hours. From a driver's perspective, talk about what you saw then to what you see now.
Well, it was the beginning of a brand new cake. You know, they were up there, they had it all mixed up, man. It was all lathered up and wet and ready to go in the oven. Well, you know what? The Monster Jam crew went out there, got this thing in the oven, worked feverishly on getting that cat equipment all worked up, and now look at it. It's race ready for your Monster Jam fans.
And Scott, you've been a part of many World Finals, some Stadium Championship Series as well. How has this season been for you compared to seasons past?
Well, you know, it's been an emotional roller coaster. I came out this year with a brand new truck, ready to cock locked and ready to rock. I didn't get to run out west like I wanted to, but that was okay because I said I'm going to stay on the East Coast and burn this thing down. This new truck's really good to me. I'm liking it. It's fast. It's got some little things I'm trying to still get used to it, but you know what? It's freestyling real good. So if I can't go ahead and win the racing tonight and be the underdog in that deal and the black sword in that fight, you know what? I'm going to go out here and put on a good freestyle for you Monster Jam fans.
Well, I'm ready to hear that thing purr tonight, and I know these fans are as well. Make sure to get wild for Scott Hartzog in Slinger tonight. And right now, let's hang out with the other Scott, one that's a little bit more ice cold, Scott Buteau, the driver of El Toro Loco Ice.
Standing in a sea of El Toro Loco fans, I'm here with Scott Buteau. Scott, how has Philadelphia been receiving you?
You know, this is what Monster Jam is all about here. All these smiling faces. Because of you fans, we get to do what we do, so we love you. Thank you, Philly.
Now, you're known as the backflip king. Do you think you got any backflips in you tonight?
Without a doubt, I always say this, you know, if she has all four tires, we're going to hit the backflip ramp. The louder you guys are, the higher we fly. I got one thing to ask you. Are you ready?
The wolf said, making the wolf sound, howling out here on the track. Kristen Hope, the wind is out here. The track is dry. Are you ready for tonight's competition?
Oh, I'm feeling so good. We had some rain last night, but we're doing awesome today. Dirt crew worked their magic. The track looks amazing. This is my second ever stadium show, and I'm so ready to burn it down today for you fans of Philly.
Now, you talk about your second stadium show, Syracuse, just 2 weeks ago was your first ever stadium show. What have you learned in just those 2 weeks coming into your second stadium competition?
So I've been on an arena tour all year. I've actually met a lot of fans in Pit Party today that see me on the arena tours, which was awesome. But I'm so ready to air it out. My first show in Syracuse went super well. I got so much love for the Wolf's Head truck, and I'm super pumped to show you guys what I got today. I saw a lot of video of my runs in Syracuse. I know what to improve on. I know what you guys want to see. I'm ready to go out there and send it. But the best thing you could do is post those videos, share those videos so I can see what I'm doing out there and I can get better and perform well for you guys. So hit up #MonsterJam. I want to see everything you guys got.
One more time for Kristen Hope and Wolf's Head. Up next, let's look at Time Flies and Kelvin Raymer.
From Watsonville, California, it's Kelvin Raymer, the driver of Time Flies. Kelvin, as Stadium Championship Series 2 comes to a close today, what is a memory from this season that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life?
You know, it's the family feeling you get with all the crew, the other drivers, and, you know, everybody helps everybody. You know, it's such a great feeling. You know, and being here with my daughter, watching her, and being the family, and getting the chance to compete against each other, you just can't beat that feeling. You know, and then the fans, you just can't beat the fans. You know, they bring the pictures, the posters, the homemade shirts, all that kind of stuff. You know, it hits you right in the heart. You know, you just can't beat that.
And there are so many signs from these Philly fans. I couldn't believe how many fans came here with their signs, too. And speaking of family and your daughter, you're going to get to cheer her on here in just a few weeks of the Monster Jam World Finals. How exciting is that for you to watch her blossom in this sport?
You know, this is very exciting. You know, right after tomorrow, we start tearing the trucks apart, prepping them, trying to do everything we can to make these things ready to go for her so she can shine.
Awesome. May 10th and 11th, you got to get out there and cheer them on. And Kelvin's going to be behind the scenes, but Rosalie Raymer is going to be trying to burn it down in Wildflower. And right now, let's get to know our next driver, which is Ryan Disharoon and Saigon Shaker.
Ryan Disharoon and Saigon Shaker, first tell us about this truck. I know it means a lot to you, and these fans might not know something about it.
Now, it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to our veterans. This is all about the military and our troops and our freedom. This truck is all about the United States and our military.
Now, you've won 2 stadium racing championships. Your family was there. What did it mean to you this season to get those 2 wins?
Oh, dude, it's been great, man. We've been out there just pile driving this truck into the ground all year long. You know, we've been trying to win a lot of races. We're stepping up our game in the racing aspect. And freestyle, we always go out there and try to burn it down.
Now, how special is you're not terribly too far from home. Probably got more family here. I know your dad is back there crewing. This has got to be pretty special to be back on the East Coast. You've been traveling all throughout the season across the country.
Yeah, we've made our way over to California, all the way to Washington State, and we kind of made ourselves known up there. But right here in our hometown, you guys know who we are, and you know what we're bringing. We're bringing the boom right here in Philadelphia.
You're all competing for points to get to Monster Jam World Finals 20. But when it comes down to freestyle, we've seen you do a spectacular backflip. I know your dad told me one weekend. He lets you just go out there and think whether you get to do it or not. What are you thinking tonight when you see that backflip ramp?
Oh, man, it catches my eye big time. You know, I'm over here just looking at it, staring it up and down, knowing that I'm going to be looking at it face first tonight. But we're excited, man. We're going to be a real powerful freestyle, hopefully a powerful force. And when we hit that backflip ramp, we want to land it and get that thing to the moon.
We'll see how he does. That's flying Ryan Disharoon and Saigon Shaker. Up next, put those zombie arms up. Zombie Fire in Paul Strong.
When you hear that sound, there's only one thing to do. That's get those zombie arms up in the air for Paul Strong in the Fire Zombie Truck. Paul, welcome to Philadelphia. This is your first time, is that right?
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. This is so cool, hanging out with all the kids, all the amazing Monster Jam fans. I'm excited.
Now, you are a family man. In fact, you brought your little zombies here with us today. How great is it to have such a wonderful support system?
Oh, it's been amazing. I do have the absolute best support system here. My family, my boys here, they've been to every single event with me this season. The little guy, he's been traveling since he was 2 weeks old. This is all they do. They've been raised at Monster Jam with all of you fans, and it's been absolutely the coolest experience for us.
Now, you are certainly a fan favorite. How have the fans been receiving you here? Do you see those zombie arms everywhere you go?
Oh, I love it. When I pull into the stadiums and I see all the kids, all the adults, everybody doing the zombie arms, He gets me so pumped up for freestyle. I absolutely love it. I've driven a few trucks over the years, but this season driving Zombie, I've really gotten a better connection with all the fans, and I really appreciate it.
Hey fans, make some noise for Paul Strong in the Fire Zombie.
Once again, Monster Jam fans around the world, welcome to Monster Jam Live here in Philadelphia. And I also want to give a shout out to everyone supporting autism awareness this month, in the month of April. Shout out to everyone. And here at Monster Jam, all spectrums are welcome. And Keith, it comes down to this. It started in Tampa, Florida. We've been all over the country, literally, and it ends here in Philadelphia. Now, let's pick our event champion, and then let's talk about who we think is going to take it all. And I got to say, based on my pick two, who's going to take it all, it's got to be Neil Elliott, Max D. He has to win all three competitions to keep Ryan Anderson and Gravedigger at bay. Now, if he wins every competition, but Ryan finishes in second, he'll still fall 1 point short of Stadium Championship Series 2 championship. So he's got to hope that Ryan Anderson makes a mistake at some point tonight. Neil Elliott, 28-9 this year in racing, 4-2 in the final round, 10 two-wheel skills challenge wins, and 1 freestyle win. Neil Elliott tonight takes this event championship and hopefully gets enough points to take that Stadium Championship Series 2 championship, because he wants to go to Orlando, Florida and compete in racing and freestyle for the Monster Jam World Finals 20.
I was out with him here this morning. I was quoting him. He was telling me he felt so comfortable when he saw all the water out there. He said nobody knows how to drive in the mud like him, but now it's completely dry pretty much for all the drivers. He does have an edge, but I think the Gravedigger family, I think Ryan Anderson gets it done for Team Gravedigger. I think he comes out, he takes 2 out of the 3 competitions and gets that overall event championship. He hasn't won too many in racing, hasn't been the best in two-wheel, but I think he does take racing and freestyle tonight in Philadelphia.
Well, I know some of these Monster Jam fans have seen some of the two-wheel moves that Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, has pulled off this year. But he's in Gravedigger tonight, the black and green wrecking machine. His first time should be fun to see how he handles things. And Lola, who do you think is going to be our event champion now?
Well, we have a lot of opinions out here. We're actually discussing it right now. Hey, kids, who do you think's going to win racing? What about you?
Gravedigger! 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 I don't know.
She doesn't know. She could be anybody's night. Who do you think's going to win racing?
Wildflower.
Ooh, she said Wildflower. I love that. Now tell me, who do you think's going to win our freestyle competition?
El Toro Loco.
Ooh, what about you?
Ice Cream Man.
How about you, sweetheart? Who do you think's going to win freestyle?
Max Day.
Man, you know what? We have quite a variety up here, and I can tell you this, guys. You can expect the unexpected. It is anybody's night, and let me tell you, our drivers are ready to tear their trucks apart. So, guys, are you ready for Monster Jam? On the count of 3, I want you to say, "This is Monster Jam." 1, 2, 3.
Well, I'm standing next to the guys. I just finished those host predictions. I do think Ryan Anderson and Gravedigger gets it done for Team Gravedigger, takes that series championship and getting the automatic bid to Monster Jam World Finals 20. Now we get to hear them. You got the son of a digger crew shirt on, but you're driving Gravedigger. It's got to mean so much to help represent your siblings.
Without a doubt, you guys know me. You know I'm son of a digger, and I always have been, always will be. Well, when my big brother calls me and says, "Hey, man, I need you to fill in that black and green wrecking machine for Philadelphia," I know he means business. So I pack my bags, I come up here, and yes, the points are awesome. The series championship is on the line, but you know what's on my mind? Is you guys. You guys in Philadelphia, you paid your hard-earned money to come here and see a show. And you know that black and green wrecking machine for many, many years has tore it up here. So I plan on doing one thing. I'm going to tear that Gravedigger truck up as much as I can and leave everything on the floor, because I know that's what you guys paid to see. So get ready. The first time I'm ever going to be in Gravedigger, it might be the last, you never know. But Philadelphia, I'm leaving it on the track for you guys. So get ready. Gravedigger's here, and I'm not leaving it in one piece.
Well, Ryan Anderson, we've got a message from Gravedigger driver, your brother, Adam Anderson. Let's send it up to the video board and check out that message from Adam Anderson.
Hey, Ryan, just want to wish you good luck. Wish I could be there to compete myself. Wasn't able to make it, but if anybody's going to fill in, wouldn't ask for any better. Thanks, Ryan. tear it up, do what you got to do to get the job done.
You hear that message. You're the defending champion as you won last year here in Philadelphia. What's that mean to you to get that message?
Man, it doesn't change my look, man. I know exactly what I came here to do. I didn't travel from North Carolina with the biggest, baddest team there is in the world to do anything more than put on the baddest show possible. The wins are cool, the trophies are great, but having you fans on your feet and giving you your money's worth for all the time you've given us is all I'm here to do. So I'm leaving the digger truck on the track tonight. I see each and every single one of you guys up there and girls with your Gravedigger merchandise. You've been supporting us. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be nothing. Sponsors are awesome, but Gravedigger is brought here by you fans. So I'm leaving it on the track for you guys tonight. I'm tearing this digger truck up. So I'm telling you, Philadelphia, I'm not stopping until the truck's stopping.
Fans, now it is time to hear from Rosalie Raymer in Wildflower.
The wildest thing coming out of California, it's Rosalie Raymer in the Wildflower. Rosalie, welcome to Philadelphia. You're a long way from home.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I'm a California girl through and through, but it's super amazing being out here on the East Coast for the first time ever.
Now let's talk about Monster Jam World Finals. I know you're a competitor, you're going. What is your plan? What do you got planned in your head?
You know, this is my one big shot. You know, this is the very first time we're in Orlando, so I'm out there to be that first champion.
And we got a lot of competition here today. Some of the best Monster Jam drivers are here. Are you intimidated? Are you nervous? Or are you super pumped?
You know, I've been out here with these drivers all season long, and they're veterans, and I'm still pretty new to the sport. But you know what? I learn from them each and every weekend, and they really push me to do my best.
Now let's talk about the track here. It's our last show. What are you going to do for these fans here in Philadelphia?
You know what? I've got 3 full weeks to put my truck back together before Orlando, so I'm going to give it all she's got, drive her right into the ground.
Be sure to make some noise for this gal right here, the Wildflower, Rosalie Raymer. Up next, we're going to learn about Colt Stevens in Brodozer.
Representing the Diesel Brothers, the hit reality series on Discovery Channel, this man, Colt Stevens, piloting the Brodozer Monster Jam truck, the first ever diesel-powered Monster Jam truck, which got a new engine this week and a bigger turbo, I hear. What does that mean for you?
Oh, absolutely. We had a rough week last week, so we came into this one last show before World Finals in Florida, so we're hanging it all out this week. You guys are in for a treat because this Brodozer is going to prove tonight that it deserves to be here, and we're going to go for one heck of a ride.
And this entire year, you have switched seats with Heavy D, Diesel Dave, the Diesel Brothers. You've had your time to shine. How is that? I mean, it's got to be different from a usual year where you pilot just one truck the whole year.
Man, to be teamed up with those guys is awesome. One thing they do know is that diesel motor. So them to bring that aspect into it has been great. And then I'm bringing the alcohol, Monster Jam background. We're meshing together, and this truck is getting better and better every weekend because of both of us.
Making it in the top 5 so far this season on Stadium Championship Series 2, the Brodozer team means business for the Diesel fans here in Monster Jam. And Colt, good luck tonight and rock the house.
Thanks, man. I just want to know one thing. Are there any Diesel fans in the house?
Philly came to party, and we want to thank everyone for joining us here on Facebook Live. Remember, about 9:20-ish, so maybe about 9:15, keep checking back because we're going to crown our event champion and the champion of Stadium Championship Series 2. Find out who gets that invite to the Monster Jam World Finals 20 after 9, and keep checking back to facebook.com/Monster Jam as we get ready for the action here in Philadelphia.